Hey gang, welcome back. It is still Sunday, the 24th of April, 11 o'clock. We're on to Kohler Magnum number 2. This battery is from 2020, so I imagine it's a real good battery too. We shall soon see. Okay. Let's see if you guys can watch right along with me here. Battery test. Regular flooded, cold cranking amps, 550. Is that what it is? No, it's actually, this one's actually 650 or 780. So let's go ahead and bump it up to 650. 650 and go. Testing. 1, 2, 3. I'm sure it's going to be good. Might have a low charge. 93%, 100% charge. 628 cold cranking amp. So good. Right on. Got a little good light down there too. Good charge, bad little lights come on. It's different than the Topton Art of Battery. What was it, a 101 or the other one? Anyway, so good. Good battery. Good battery. Good battery. We have a little piece of a pool noodle over here. Don't know what it's doing. Let's... Is this the one I couldn't get the brake to set on? That's the one that's stuck, isn't it? Alright. I'm off camera. I'm going to spray down the linkages so that things move a little better real quick, so my job isn't as difficult. And that rod goes down just underneath the noodle. There's a little spring and a foot right here. Right there, and that's your parking brake. I'm going to lube that up so it'll do what it's supposed to do. Then we'll take a look at the engine. Alright, right out of the gate I'm just going to go ahead and take the air cleaner off and pull the fuel line, make sure our fuel pump is pumping fuel, and at the same time relieve the fuel line of any water that may be in there. So, what do I need? Well, first thing I need to do is set you guys right here for just a second, so I can use both hands. And we need DOS pliers and DOS hose pliers. Come over here. Put you right here. Let's turn around. And the fuel line is tucked back up underneath here, so... Oh, it's on the other side, isn't it? No, it's on this side. I just need a flashlight. There we go. Okay. Get that popped off of there. And this one supposedly ran also. Randy just couldn't get it started before we came to pick him up, and I took him at his word. If he's fibbing to me, I know where he lives. Just kidding, Randy. Come on, fuel line, pop off of there. There we go. Alright, we'll crank it over just a couple times. Watch your ears. Ugh, it's all milky looking. Let's see here real quick. You guys see the end of the fuel line right there? You can't see it. Here, scoot down a little bit so that you can. Well, that's too far down, guys. You'll be able to see it now or not. Let me poke it again. It's right there. Nope, you're not in a good spot. Just hold on for the ride. All right, no cranky. no cranky. So that means we need to dig in a little deeper and get to the starter. This one does have the idler pulley and the return spring. Let's see when the oil was changed. On this one, I do not see a tag. Get a look here. I can see the starter right down there, and it is engaged. Can you guys see that down there? I don't know if you guys can or not. This fuel line's in the way. I'm going to try to back the starter bendix off, get it backed up some, and because it's, you can see the starter right there, where just a little discombobulated piece of the heat shroud came off. Alright, we have a wire hanging out here by itself too. There's two more over there. Those are for the clutch. I don't know what that one's for, but anyway. Okay, let me see what I can do as far as getting that flywheel off of the ring gear. Let's see if we can get this thing to spin over. So, hang on, I'll be right back. Alright, take two. I got the bendix to fall back. You can see that it's back up against the starter now. So I need to reconnect this fuel line right here. Get that back on there. See, if I hold the camera with my left hand, I'm a lot less apt to use my left hand. Get up there. No, a little more. Thank you. And push clamp forward. Push clamp on. I'm going to come back over here if it will crank. Fingers crossed. All you guys cross yours too. Let's see if it'll crank now. And if it cranks, I want to witness fuel coming out of that fuel line right there. So you guys can see it right there if I just hold the camera there. Let's see if we can. Can you see it? I think you can. Okay, let's crank it, see if it'll crank. Please crank. No cranky. Okay, so it's either not getting power. Yeah, it didn't move the starter at all. It's either not getting power from the starter solenoid, or the starter itself is stuck. So let's try the old tappy tap trick. You want to? I'm going to tap on the body of the starter while I'm holding the key. I suppose I can check output down here to make sure that the starter relay, starter solenoid is doing its job, because it's clicking. It'll click, but it just doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound like it's clicking all the way. So we may just need to replace that. We'll see. Let me get a test on that bottom lead down there. Follow that wire. And that big wire comes out, down, around, and attaches to the starter. I don't know which is going to be easier. Yeah, the starter wire is right. That little bit of red right there, that's the starter wire. So let's see here. Yep, I'll figure it. Let me get a tester on that, and we'll pop you back on. That's the easy way to do it. Just take that side panel off right there, and I can also get to all those linkages and get those lubed up too. Alright, I'm just using the most generic tester there is. A light bulb. That's all we need. So we're going to go to the bottom terminal with one wire, and then up and over here to the negative with the other. So we've got negative, whoop, and positive, but only when cranking. We're going to see if that actually, if the solenoid's actually working. So we're going to look right here. As soon as we hear the click, that bulb should illuminate. It is. So that tells us our problem is down in the starter, which blows a little bit. Let's see here. Let's see how difficult that panel will be to... won't be too bad. Just a couple of bolts. I should be able to pull this panel off. Downpours. Got some rain coming. I'll get that off. Then I'll tell you something else that we can do is try to tap on the starter and see if we can get the starter to spin. Engage by tapping it. Let's do that before we get too deep into it. Let me get a... Here's my lapping compound right there. Okay. Drift. Just a long brass rod. I know there's one in here. Where you at? Nope, you're too short. There you are. That's about $100 worth of brass right there. I'm going to tell you. Okay, we can go straight down there and tap, I suppose. Right on top of it. Let me clamp you guys right here. I'm going to turn the key and hold it to the start position and then start tapping the starter, see if it'll engage. That would be a nope. It's not doing anything. So the next thing I can do is take this panel off, get to the starter, pop the starter out, and pull it over on the bench and check it there. So let me pull this cover off. I'll have to pull the side cover off of the engine and get to that starter, get the bolts out. It won't be too bad. See you guys in a couple minutes. Alright, that didn't take long at all. So now that we have it out, we will get the camera set up here so that we can take a look and see what's going on with that starter. Got a pretty nice groove on it, like it's been, like it was loose. And also one of the bolts, the threads are all screwed up on that one. But let's see. Does not appear as though it's rotating. Let me get a 1/2 inch. Half inch, I think. 9/16. See, I told you. Okay, let's see if it'll turn. Oof. It was kind of crunchy to start with. May have to look at replacing that guy. And I know just the man that has some of these starters, it'd be Biggie Rat. So if need be, I can go to him. Let's see if we can get this thing to crank over on the bench. We'll get one of these little batteries here. And that on the positive. We'll leave the negative hanging loose. We'll attach the other end to the battery. We'll see if this battery's got enough to make that turn over a little bit. We'll see. Hopefully it'll turn, but it's probably going to sound really bad. Alright, I'm ready. Are you ready? Let's go. Anticipation. Yeah, hear how crunchy that sounds? And it barely turned. We lost something somewhere, didn't we? Come on. Go. Nothing. Alright, well obviously not a good starter. But don't despair. We have a parts tractor. So why don't we run a battery out to that parts tractor and see if the starter is good on it. What do you think? I think it will be. We'll find out soon enough. Boy, that thing's ugly. Okay, starter's down there. And of course the batteries, I'm sure it's toast. But let me turn you guys off. I'm going to grab a 2015. Yeah, I'll grab my battery tester. I doubt it's got much. I'll just get a jump pack on there and see if we can't just get it to do something. So hang on. As far as I know, the only thing wrong with this is that it has a blown hydraulic line for the power steering, which causes it to not steer and not move because it shares the hydraulic. Get on there. You're not on there very tight. Do we have anything at all? Yeah, we've got something. Let's see what we have. I don't know if you guys can read that. Battery test, regular flooded, full cranking amp. I'm going to go way down to 400 because I seriously doubt that this is going to be a good battery as old as it is. And test. It's probably going to say bad. Dead battery. 22 cranking amps. I don't think that's going to do anything. Do you? That's why we brought the jump pack. Okay, let's get the negative cable on there. Make sure that it's tight enough. Our jump pack, this jump pack might not be big enough. We'll see. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Okay, push. We got a green light. Now let's see if she'll crank. Ready? Huh? It's doing things. Here we go. Cranking. No. No ting. I don't even think it tried to start it. This one has a clutch on it. It's got a rear post. I can jump directly to the battery, so let me drag a battery out here and we'll jump directly to it because the cable is right there. Alright, I'm going to hook up the battery and then we'll see if it's going to do something. Go ahead and get the positive on the terminal. We'll leave that off and then I'll touch ground. There's positive. There's negative. And let's touch it around, see what it does. 3, 2, 1. Horn tech. It won't start because I've got the key in the off position, I believe. Nope, now I do. Just want to see if it cranks good. Ready? Fingers crossed. I need a good starter. Well, it's spinning a lot faster than the other one. Bendix isn't kicking out, but it might just need lubed. So I will pop the cover off of this, get this starter off, and we'll see if we can get this starter to work on that tractor. All right, let's see if the parts tractor gave us a good starter. This was just, the rubber was just stuck to the housing, is why it didn't eject. So I'm going to hit it real quick and see if it wants to try to kick out. It won't kick out a lot because it's a low amperage battery, but we'll see. Sounds real good. I'm going to put it on a better battery. Let's put it on a better battery just so that we're absolutely positively sure that the starter is going to kick out. Before we stuff it in there. Okay, here we go. Attach this to the battery. 1, 2. Now we got a powerful battery. It should kick that out a little bit real quick. Maybe. Well. Well, let's take a chance. It only takes a minute to put to take the starter back out. So let's go ahead and stick it in there and see what we get. Are you with me? Good. They go in pretty easy. Just these 2 posts just go in here with the lead pointing down or out like that. So I'm going to stuff it in there, connect everything, and see if we've got an engine that'll crank over. Sit tight. Had a blowout. I had a milk carton that decided it didn't like holding on to the evaporust, so I had to move it over to a Rain-X jug. Well, I didn't know Kohler Magnums had 2 different size starters. They're both 20 horse, so I might dig into that one and see if I can't do something to straighten it out, but the way it's sounding, it's got a bad bearing. So that's going to put a halt to this one. We're not going to do anything else with it. I'm not going to waste any more time on it. I have got to mow this yard. So we're going to get on Sunstar number, wow, lots of Sunstars now. Sunstar number 2, which is actually number 1, the one that's closest to the truck over there. That's the one that I already had before picking these 4 up. The 18 horse, start and run just fine. That one will probably start and run, but it's got a blown hydraulic line, so we may just disconnect the drive shaft and test the engine out, see how the engine does, and determine what we're going to do with that. Ron has some lines, and he may have the right line that's blown on this. If not, Napa makes them. But I want to get them together, serviced, and ready to move on down the road. I don't need all of them at all. I'm going to keep one with, and this is probably the one that I'll keep, is one with the high-low and the diff lock. But I'll have to wait till we get the thing running. And if this engine has any problems at all, I definitely have a Vanguard. I would not be bothered at all to stuff into this thing. So, alright, that's it. You guys have been pretty patient with me. I'm going to clean up. It's lunchtime. I'm going to go in and eat. And I'm going to come out and I might actually do some customer work. So we'll see if that happens. You guys will be privy to that. But for now, this 20 horse Magnum is at a standstill till we get the correct starter, or I get this starter over here squared away, which I don't have high hopes on. But sure is a nice clean one. I'd like to get it cleaned up and running, and possibly throw the mower under this one, or throw the loader under this one, rather, is what I meant to say. I like to put the loader on this one because well, I need something with a diff lock, because if I get a odd load in the bucket, it wants to just spin one tire and I'm stuck unless I reshuffle my load. Doesn't happen often, but it happens often enough. It's kind of aggravating. But we'll check back into this one at a later date. For now, it's going to go out and sit with the rest of them. Appreciate you guys running along with me on this fine Sunday, and I look forward to a bunch of working my tail off videos very, very, very soon. Catch y'all on the next one. Later. I'm out of here. Not being the type to give up, I thought, I'm going to try this one more time. I'm going to look and see what's going on and where it's hitting. It was hitting on the engine mounting bolt. The mounting bolt was pushed up through the bottom, and then the nut and lock washer were on top. And it was too high, and it was hitting the starter housing. I flipped that bolt over, and they just fell right into place. So it's game on again. Never mind about the last little clip that you heard. Let me get it bolted in, wired up, and we should be able to crank this thing over. Hang on. Boy, I wished I had the camera on for that one. Whee! Got starter and got it wired up, hit the key, and cranked over just fine. Didn't have the camera on. I let off the key, it's still cranking. The starter solenoid's stuck. So I'm going to stand on the other side of the tractor with little tappy tap in hand in case it does it again. But to my pleasure and surprise, it didn't even hesitate. Ready? Let's see if we can get this and not have to whack the solenoid. I will be changing the solenoid, obviously. So let's see what we get. Ready? I don't know what that ting was. Let me do it again. Okay, we're going to button things up over on the other side, get the tins back on of the engine, get the air cleaner on, oil's clean as can be, and then we're going to, let me look here. Am I going to change that now? It's probably smart for me to go ahead and change that now, so I don't have to worry about that happening again. So I'm going to do that. The hour meter is working, and this thing has 992 hours on it. It might be 1992, but I cannot see the last digit over there. It's all dusty, dirty, but and there's no needle for the fuel gauge. That's all right. I've got a donor, and it is showing the voltage when we turn the key on. So we've got our oil pressure switch is working, neutral switch, seat. Of course, you know, if I flipped on the front PTO, it'll say that it's on, but there's no PTO on it right now. But the donor tractor has one that we can throw on there. And that mess is the gas that the fuel pump was pumping out while I was running around like a rabbit with my head cut off trying to do that. Yeah, whack the solenoid. So okay, I'm gonna change that out and then we'll see if it's drivable. So hang on. I'm impatient. I want to see if everything else is working. So I'm gonna leave the hood up, kick it. If it starts without the starter continuing to spin, then I'll shut the hood and we'll see if it'll go for a ride. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, contact. Yeah. Runs really nice. Let me mount you guys out here like I did before. We'll see how this one does. Need to put air in that back tire again. It's got a leak somewhere. Well, that's 3 out of 4 running. I don't think this one's charging because the battery voltage is showing down at 12. So I'm gonna start it back up and check, see if that voltage meter is lying to me. It's only showing 12 volts. Should be higher than that. Well, I mean, if the battery's fully charged, it's doing what it's supposed to do. But let's check real quick. Alright, we're on DC. Whoops. You should go on the one you're supposed to go on. There you go. Let go, Velcro tape. Why are both of you in there? Only one of you is supposed to be in there. What happened? I know what happened. That's supposed to be all the way down there. Okay, let's try again. Fingers crossed we don't have to slap the solenoid. Here we go. We're 12.53. We're not charging. We've got a regulator over here. I'll check it. But anyway, it starts, it runs. I can lot drive it. So we got through those two. Thought this one was going to have to be abandoned for a while, but as it turned out, as luck would have it, as fate would have it. It's just a matter of flipping a bolt over to get that starter to fit. And this one runs really, really nice too. So there we go. That's the end. Yep. This time it really is the end. It's 5 minutes after 1. I did not go in to eat lunch, so I'm going to eat lunch now. I promise you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Later. I'm out of here.